Deadwax.
Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Hey. Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Hey. Ooh la la, ah wee wee.
What's up, all you chocolate bunnies? And welcome to the Deadwax Show with Waffles The Stooge. Get your little furry tail out of the groove and get into the Deadwax. I am Waffles, and as always, I'm joined by my best friend. Whoa. Did you see him move?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I figured I was a little too low, so I put my desk down. It's motorized.
Look at that. And speaking of who's getting low, it's Stooge.
What's up? Oh,
Hey.
shoot. There it is.
There you go. Stooge, how are you?
I'm doing great, Waffles. It is Easter Sunday. The Lord has risen.
Yes.
As have I. Not our viewers, though.
That's declining.
Yes, definitely not. Our views are definitely not Christ-like. That's one thing we can't.
There's a lot about us that's not Christ-like. Yeah, whatever. But hey, like Steve said, we're recording this on Easter Sunday, so get your eggs, get your candy, get your bunnies,
Get your resurrection on.
get your resurrection on. They do it all. It's gonna be great. But
Double shot.
the thing that's nice, not everybody that listens to us is in Utah, but Utah is finally getting out of our eternal winter we've been in. So that's been nice for both of us to have smiles again. Yeah.
Yeah, to have sunshine and get some of that vitamin D.
It's been
From
great.
the sun.
I am wearing shorts right now, Stooge. Can you believe that?
I'm also wearing shorts.
Look at us.
Yeah.
For the first time in what seems like decades. It's great.
Yeah, it has. It's been forever.
It's been too long.
If they were to make what's that show called again? Game of Thrones. They could have filmed all of the wall shots scenes here in Utah the last couple of months. So
winter is coming, and oh my gosh, it won't go away. It's horrible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's here to stay.
It's here to stay.
It's gone.
Ooh,
it's gone.
That would have been a good tagline. Yeah. Oh well. Stooge, did you get any records this last week? You want to show us?
I have gotten a few records this past week. Would you mind if I showed them off?
I would love if you would show them off for the pickups.
Okay, let me show off some of these I got. Okay. I got a couple here. I'll go through them real quick.
Okay.
So I got some Queen albums.
Ooh.
So Walmart has pressed some of these on colored vinyl, and this one it matches the album. So the game right here, it comes on a cool silver vinyl, which is really cool. And then I also got what's this this one called again? I always forget. News of the World.
News of the World, yeah.
By Queen. It comes on that. Oh, wrong side. This olive green color vinyl. So that's really cool to have those. I'm always excited to add Queen to the collection.
Absolutely, Queen's awesome.
Huge Queen fan. They're my second favorite classic rock band of all time.
Okay.
Number 2, only to Led Zeppelin, the greatest of all time.
I thought you were going to say something like Missy Elliott. Dang it.
Yep, second only to Missy Elliott, the greatest
my favorite classic rock
band of all time, Missy Elliott.
Exactly.
And then I just want to share a couple pickups I got from Graywell yesterday. We got POD Satellites, and I got Wolves by Rise Against. And I'm just trying to get what I can from Rise Against because they don't press any of their stuff. From what I understand, there's a dispute there with one of their old labels, and that's why things don't get pressed. I don't know for sure either. That's what I think Dustin was implying the other day when I was asking him, hey, man, why are they? Because he usually has the scoop on what's kind of in the works. Dustin's our dealer at Graywell. That's what I refer to him now. He's one of my dealers.
100%. Yeah.
He's our local dealer.
Yeah.
Whenever we need a fix, he's there to hook us up. Anyways, I was like, hey, man, I want to get some more of these Rise Against albums, some of the really good ones. And he's like, yeah, none of them are impressed. They've been out of press for a long time. It doesn't look like there's any plans to get impressed again either. So if you want to get some of their better albums, The Sufferer and The Witness or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's $100, for... Anyways, it's just, it sucks. So
that does suck.
Anywho's, this other one I wanted to share, because this is a band I discovered recently. Female-led, really cool kind of indie rock band. They're called The Beths, and this album is Expert in a Dying Field. This was released last year.
Sick.
But I recently discovered them because of the Bad Bad Hats. There's another female-led indie alternative group called Bad Bad Hats. They posted about the Beths, so I checked the Beths out. And it's oh yeah, these guys are really cool too. And I just opened this, so I don't know It's supposed to be on like a cool like colored vinyl. So let's see. Ooh,
the reveal. This is
canary yellow.
Love it.
So there you go. But yeah, if you're looking for some cool indie alternative female-led jams, make sure to check out the best. I'm digging them so far. And this is their most recent album. Okay. I want to say they got like 3 official albums, maybe some EPs and the live thing out there as well. So the best.
The best. That's such a good way to discover new music is what the bands you listen to.
Definitely.
Like, great way to find new music.
Great way.
Because they got their finger on the pulse. What are you doing?
I had to realizing that I had my microphone set to the iPad mic instead of my headphones, so I just switched that right now.
Oh,
mid-show.
Well, there you go.
Just so everyone knows. Pulling back the curtain. You're like, why?
We often tell you guys what. Yeah, I thought you were just really into analyzing how you're doing your. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. I got a couple as well.
Couple.
This first one, I actually don't know how to pronounce this. Whenever I don't know how to pronounce an artist, I look up interviews of how the interviewer says it or the band, and I keep hearing different ways of how it's said. So I still don't actually know how this band is said. But anyway, this is by the HIRS Collective or the Hears Collective is what I've heard it as. All of these on the OB strip, I'm trying to get closer. These are all features on the album by very significant
huge
artists.
Features.
Yeah, and this is like a grind band. They sound insane. And so you have Shirley Manson from Garbage singing over like a song that's 40 seconds and screaming at the top of their lungs. But it's actually a great record. I just kind of like happened upon it. I don't know this band very well. And then
where'd you happen upon it?
I think just on Instagram. I saw the artwork and I thought it was really interesting. So I clicked one listen and then I saw all the features and I was like, okay, this has to be a gimmick, right? There's got to be at least 20 bands featured on this album besides the main band themselves. So I was like, that's got to be a gimmick. And then I listened to it and I was like, this is actually just phenomenal music. And they're coming to Salt Lake City in a couple weeks.
Oh, cool.
This is the one I messaged our group about that's playing at an arcade. And so we'll see how it goes. They're a little bit wild, the Hears Collective.
Is it Noah's Arcade?
That's hilarious. Is that actually a thing?
What's a Wayne's World reference?
Oh, dang, there you go.
Come on down where the games are played. It's hip, it's cool, it's Noah's Arcade.
See, look at you. If we ever need to turn this podcast into a Wayne's World reference podcast, you are the first person I think should run it.
I guarantee you all the other millennials who still listen to our show just popped hard for that. I guarantee
They popped hard?
Yeah.
What
you
does
know
that mean?
The word pop? Oh, it's like a wrestling term, like when something exciting happens and the crowd gets real excited and claps and goes, yeah, you know, like if you're at a concert and then, Taylor Swift comes out and everyone gets all loud and excited, that's a pop.
Sick. And she plays pop, so that just works out well for everybody.
Yeah, it does. And I'm telling you, me killing on that Noah's Arcade rap right there.
Comment below. Did you pop off when
I guarantee you several women, if they still listen, slid out of their seats on that one.
Absolutely. This is going really well, this whole episode so far.
Yeah.
Anyway, another record I got. This is Garden of Burning Apparitions by Full of Hell. Full of Hell is my new personality. I have absolutely fallen in love with this band. I've known about them since 2017, mildly listened, and then just as of late, it just clicks so well with me. This is a variant that was limited to 100.
Oh, that's a cool variant.
Well, yeah, it's like if you can't see, it's half clear, half red. There is a splatter throughout and also a blob inside. It's like 3 variants mixed together.
It looks like the Eye of Sauron.
Oh, it totally does. Dude, that's a good idea for a post, Stooge, on Instagram.
There you go. Are you gonna dress like Frodo? Can I be Samwise?
Sure.
Okay, sorry.
You can be that giant spider that eats both of them. What was that spider's name? I don't remember.
Roger.
Anyway, Roger. that spider, you know what I mean, Philip?
Hank the spider.
Full of Hell, if you don't know, they're like a grindy death metal. They're very intense and aggressive. They've been around a lot longer than most people realize. They've been around since like 2010. But they've only risen to prominence in the past like 5 years. Anyway, I don't know what it is. I don't know if this ever happens to you, Stooge, but like all of a sudden one day it clicked with me and I was like, holy hell, Full of Hell. This is phenomenal. This is so good. All of a sudden my taste buds are all popping at once. And so that's all I've been listening to is Full of Hell. Unlike my like Spotify stats and everything, it's just Full of Hell. which is great.
Oh yeah.
And then the last thing I got, I've been collecting tapes a lot recently. Cassettes.
Oh, nice.
And I've been trying to make my focus on cassettes, not just bands and albums I like, but people that have demos, or my friends have bands and they have music on tape, because cassettes are so much easier to make than vinyl in terms of money. So I've gotten a bunch for like underground artists that are really cool that I'm really into. A lot of, if anybody's listening to this, it's sent me tapes. Thank you so much. It's been so cool to see how many people are willing to send their demos out to me or send me their band stuff. But this is one that I really, really like. This is for a band called Ankle Biter. This artwork
that's
really
cool.
rules. Yeah, they're a straight edge band. I believe they're from the Pacific Northwest. Here's what their logo looks like. Anyway,
that's what it sounds like too, in case you guys wondered.
Yeah, they're a straight edge hardcore band. Same thing, I think, from like either Washington or the glare's killing me.
Oh
anyway.
yeah, I can see my reflection.
They're from the Pacific Northwest. They're lots of fun, and this demo is really killer. So if you like hardcore, listen to Ankle Biter. Same thing, female-led hardcore band, straight edge, we love. And there you go.
And there you go. That's
similar to a Ford dealership. There's our pickups.
Yep.
Yeah.
We made it through pickups in one
we're
piece.
Killing it. We're killing it this episode.
You know what I really want to do?
What's up?
But it's going to be really difficult because I'm not really a good musician at all. I want to start like a band, a shitty band, and we play at Denny's, and we just
name the day I'm there. That sounds so much fun.
Like, that's why the other day, I don't know if you remember, like a week or two ago, I reached out in our group. We have like a local Utah record collectors Instagram chat.
We're so friends, yeah.
Yeah, we got like 15 people in there, something like that. Anyways, I asked everyone who plays instruments, because I really want to get together and start, jamming, just making dumb songs. I'm not trying to headline,
Coachella
or whatever.
Could.
But
a lot of bands start out that way too. They're not like people.
Oh, they headline Coachella?
Ambitious. Yeah, exactly. No, they just are like, we just want to have fun and play music together. And then all of a sudden, they're the Beatles.
The Beatles.
The Beatles.
Yeah, they had no aspirations when they got together.
Yeah, they just jammed in Utah. Isn't that crazy?
It's like they just jammed in someone's basement and someone recorded it and put out a demo.
And it became Abbey Road. Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
Yeah.
Especially considering that was the last album.
Yeah. Stooge, do you know what's crazy about when people get together and play music?
No, what's crazy
is that sometimes those people have never played in a band before, but sometimes they have played in a band before. And that's where you get super groups.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know what else is crazy about super groups, Stooge?
What's crazy about them?
That's today's topic.
No. I was completely unaware of this.
Shook. He's shook, ladies and gentlemen. Popping, as you called it. You pop.
Oh, yeah. Everyone heard the pop.
They heard the pop, all right. Are you ready to go into today's topic? Before I was doing a segment.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready. You
can keep talking about Ankle Biter if you
want. I was still trying to transition from pickups. No. Yeah, I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. We can do this.
So Stooge and I are going to talk today about supergroups, but not just like our favorite supergroups, not just like here's the history of supergroups. We are going to be detailing like fantasy supergroups, dream supergroups of people that are already in bands. We decided Dead and Alive, right?
Yeah, and I did a couple of different variations of bands I thought would be kind of cool that I'd like
variations.
To see as well. Mm-hmm.
Sick. Okay. So how do you want to do this? Should we just like have you name one band or?
Yeah.
What's the best way to do
that? I mean, I thought like, one of us would go each time, and if you want to go first, you can go first. Because I, from what I understand, you've got a theme and everything with yours.
I do have a theme.
Let's start with yours then. Let's start with what's popping and what's hot.
Oh, what's popping? That's when people in wrestling really like something. It's really cool. It pops. Mm-hmm. Taylor Swift, she pops too. So for my supergroup, when we're thinking about like, okay, what's a good supergroup? I was trying to think. We can say, oh my gosh, it'd be great if Jimi Hendrix played with the Beach Boys, but instead I was like, okay, if I have like a general theme, it will help me be able to do this so much better. So the theme for my supergroup is that they're all women, because so often in supergroups we talk about in music, I don't know why there's not a lot of women involved. That sounds so sexist.
None of mine have women.
The ones that are really famous, Traveling Wilbury is a great example. There's no women involved, and I thought it'd be really fun to actually have the conversation for my band be strictly women. So all of mine are women. I told this to Stooge. I believe he's going to know everybody on this list because I didn't go super obscure. These are hopefully people. I also tried to keep it in. They're not all from the same type of music. So first off,
so you've got Missy Elliott in yours then.
Missy Elliott's actually playing every instrument. Let's start off with the drums. The drums are fun.
Okay,
so the drummer, the drummer that I want for my supergroup is Elaine Bradley, who played drums in Neon Trees. She is a very talented drummer. She keeps a fantastic beat, but she's also like a quality human. I got to meet Elaine. They only had their first album out, so that's been 2010, 11.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, and she is one of the friendliest band members I've ever met. She was so kind and so friendly, and was all about having a good time. And I feel like for a drummer, that needs to be such a rock position because so many people feed off the energy of the drummer, both on the stage and off the stage. So I just love her. She's really great. I don't actively keep up with Neon Trees anymore or what they've done in a minute. I think probably the last time I listened to was their second one. So
they had a second album?
I know, right? Exactly. I don't even
and
know
now
if
they hate
still
us.
Exists. Yeah. But Elaine, she was so cool. So I'd love her to be the drummer.
Yeah, I saw them live one time in Vegas, and this was also like right around when they were starting to kind of pop off. But it was like during like a first Friday or something like that, and they were playing "Get This" with the Imagine Dragons and another band I love called Shark Speed that I've talked about.
Oh, you love Shark Speed? Yeah.
So it was the three of them playing a show. And it's like $10 to get in, you know. So this is like we're talking like 2009 is probably. And what was that song called?
Their first big hit.
Their first big hit.
Animal. Oh, I want some more.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I remember the female drummer being there.
Yeah,
and I remember her looking not scary but she looked fit and kind of intimidating.
Oh man, she's so hot. She was so hot back in the day. Same thing. I don't know if she is. That sounds terrible. I just don't keep up with them. She could totally still be a total baddie and a hottie. But yeah, back in the day, man, she was super hot. Oh, and then for mine, I also have honorable mentions because some of these are really hard to pick just one. So let's imagine Elaine didn't work out. I would love Patty Schemmel, who was the drummer for Hole, to be able to play. And not only do I just love her, she's a great drummer. When I first learned to play the drums when I was 15, that's what I wanted to be like. I would try to imagine playing Hole songs. So the first couple songs I ever learned on the drums were like Violet and Celebrity Skin. Because they're
the most Waffles thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
When I was young, I pretended to be, what's her name? From Hole.
Yeah, Patty. She was great. She did not have a great life after that band. Most people that played with Courtney Love did not have a fantastic life. But she got really involved with drugs like everybody in that band did and everybody in Courtney Love's life did. Anyway, so I don't think she plays anymore. But let's imagine she still did. That, like, when I was learning to play the drums especially, the song Violet, I practiced so many times because I thought it was so fun. The drumming on all their music is so well done. So there you go. Let's go to bass. Because bass, I feel like, is
slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass. The bassist that I think would be a lot of fun to work with and be in a band with is Kim Gordon, who is the bassist for Sonic Youth. She is very talented. She's very artistic. Sonic Youth, most people, I believe, would be aware of Sonic Youth. They probably couldn't tell you more than a few songs. But back in the 90s, they were grunge, but they were also really weird and experimental. Their music was a bit out there. Their fans were a little bit out there because they didn't sound like Nirvana. They were trying to be more artistic with it. And Kim Gordon, go for it.
I was going to put them kind of in the same lane as the Pixies almost, or the Flaming Lips.
Great example.
Yeah. Okay.
Where it was like grungy, but it was also indie. Where it was still catchy and fun, but there was more artistic to it than they were trying. They weren't just trying to be radio rock. But Kim Gordon was really an artistic force in the 90s and in Sonic Youth, and she had bass lines that were killer, especially in the song like 100% by Sonic Youth. Bass in that song is amazing. And then this is actually a shout out to Stooge, but also one that I would love. Backup bassist, in case Kim didn't work out, is Darcy from the Smashing Pumpkins. Oh, nice. Fantastic bassist. She's very talented, and to be able to work with Billy Corgan for as long as she has, that is a medal and some merit that she is deserving of.
2 gold stars.
2 gold stars. And I'm sure she has literal gold stars. She's probably doing great financially, but I don't want to work with Billy Corgan for
what's this band?
Years.
This band called again? Smashing Pumpkins?
Exact. Pumpkins. Sounds like a flavor at Starbucks these days.
A coffee
That's the most
flavor?
like boomer joke I could think of. Okay, guitar. Let's talk about guitar. This one I think took me longest of any. to figure out who I wanted because there's so many fantastic guitarists out there. But the one I think would be fun to watch in how they interact with these people is Carrie Brownstein, who was the guitarist for Slater-Kinney and also Excuse 17. But you also might know her from Portlandia with Fred Armisen. She is the other half of Portlandia. Carrie Brownstein in the 90s, she was one of the biggest names of the Riot Grrrl movement when Excuse 17 started, because she was this just punk rock chick. She was great at guitar, fantastic riffs. And then when Excuse 17 broke up, as did the band Heavens to Betsy, she and her friend started Slater-Kinney that has now been around for 30 years. Like they both were in these very short-lived bands that were important, and then now they're in this band that won't go away, which is great. She's very talented, fantastic music. She's a great writer. She's a great composer, but also she's really funny. Like I don't even Portlandia got canceled, right?
I don't know. I never watched Portlandia, which is surprising.
I watched like the first couple seasons.
Yeah, like I love Fred and Bill, and but I just didn't click with me.
Portlandia was great. I feel like the humor began to just be the same over and over and over again.
Gotcha.
It's like we get it. Portland's weird. We get it. Like it's a little bit strange. But Carrie's hilarious. She was always really funny in the show, and she'd be really fun to be a part of this band with. The honorable mention for guitar. This one, I don't think you will know. Maybe you will. I'm not here to doubt you or your talents. Is Poison Ivy, who was the guitarist for the Cramps. They were a horror punk band in the 70s, and Poison Ivy, the Cramps are almost like arguably the first horror punk band, but she was nuts in how she dressed. She had this giant curly hair that was red and huge, and she would wear like, cat skin, not cat skin, that sounds horrible. She would wear leopard print cat suits, which in punk rock, when it was very first starting, was very unusual and strange because punk rock when it started was all about, leather jackets and sunglasses. So then you have this woman that's all about like, looking, exactly. You have this woman that's all about like looking cool and being interesting and being fashionable. But also she was a killer guitar player. I believe Poison Ivy's always been the guitar player for the Cramps. Okay. Vocals. The front woman of the band, the front person of the band.
Courtney Love.
The main person. Oh, I should honorable mention first for this because it's
honorable mention first.
Honorable mention first. I'm going to say Joan Jett because Joan Jett is the number one badass in music. Whether she was in the Runaways as a very young person or when she was in Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, she's so fun to watch. She's still doing it. She's still playing music. She's still performing. She's still touring. And I love Joan Jett. I've always loved Joan Jett. She's really cool. I watched like her documentary too. There's like a whole documentary about her. It was way too long, I'll be honest. but it was great. It was
Your
long.
life is too long.
Exactly. It was like an hour and 20 minutes, and I was like, there's still stuff to talk about. But I love Joan Jett. She's incredible. But my number one pick, actually, this does kind of relate to Carrie Brownstein a little bit, is Kathleen Hanna, who was the singer for Bikini Kill. She is always noted as the leader of the Riot Grrrl movement. I almost dropped my notebook.
Whoa.
I know. Almost said a bad word. But Kathleen Hanna was so cool for punk rock in the 90s because Riot Grrrl had kind of started a little bit, and the Bikini Kill came out and made it as giant as it was and was like, hey, this is who we are. They started all kinds of really cool things for women at shows, especially. In the 90s in punk rock, it became very, very sexist, and dudes were horrible to be around at punk shows.
Just then?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not like that ever stopped. And Bikini Kill was very blatant and open about calling that stuff out. And so every single one of their shows, they would scream for all the women to come up front and all the dudes to go in the back, and only women can mosh and only women can have fun because dudes had been talking to them like that for so long. So it was so cool, not just for music and for punk rock, but for feminism and for people that are just wanting to have fun at shows. Kathleen Hanna was consistently like the leader of doing that. She's a great singer. Rebel Girl being their biggest song. So there you go. I think that show would be wild and intense and lots of fun.
Well, now what's the name of this group?
I didn't come up with a name.
How did you not come up with a name?
Damn it, man. I even told you in the text we should come up with names for our bands.
I know. That's why I'm kind of surprised.
Give me a second.
Female led.
Give me a second to think about it, and then
we should name it Hera.
Hera?
Isn't she like the goddess of
of like Greek something? Even just the name Goddess is a great name for a band. Anyway,
They should be called Rage Against the Manchine.
that's funny. Rage Against the Manchine. There's some kind of man cheetah. Love it. Okay, Rage Against the Manchine.
All right. So say the 4 again, so we can, because I think we're gonna do a poll on this. Who would like to see whose group?
Love it. Okay.
On our page.
Drums are Elaine Bradley from Neon Trees. Bass is Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth. Guitar is Carrie Brownstone from Slater Kinney, and Kathleen Hanna from Bikini Kill for the vocals.
Cool beans. Cool beans, Blue Jeans. All right. Now we're going on to my band.
Let's hear your variations. Let's hear these bands.
Yeah, because I did a couple. I was playing around a little bit.
Yeah.
But my serious one here, like if this could happen, like I would definitely, poop my pants. There'd be stuff coming out of all my orifices because I'd be so happy and excited.
That's the quote we're pulling from this episode.
Yeah, perfect.
That line could work.
So when I was thinking of my supergroup, I kind of went unconventional.
Okay.
I started like you did, like, lead singer, bassist, guitar, drum. Let's cut it like that. But I was like, you know what? I would almost I'd rather this be like a collective almost, if that sounds douchey. Like I wanted to bring together musicians who, are not just like, oh, I'm a good bass player. It's like I can write, compose, produce all sorts of just, instruments, style, stuff like that. So, so just so you know, that's what I'm starting off with, and I've got more than 4. Okay. So I don't think this would ever happen because it'd like be having too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But if this did happen, like I said, every orifice.
It's the dream.
So, first one I'm gonna start with, no surprise to anyone, Dan Arbach. He's gonna be in this band. He's a super good producer, has his own record label, but on top of that, great vocalist. I shouldn't say great vocalist, but I love his vocal style.
Yeah.
I love his vocal style. Not saying that he's not good. I just hate using the word, great vocalist, one of the best.
He is a great vocalist.
I just like his vocalist. And great guitar player, great producer.
Absolutely.
So Dan Arbach also has a style about him that I really enjoy and like. So, that's kind of southern, bluesy rock feel, which is really cool and I really like. On top of that, we're going to bring in Beck. And once again, Beck's one of those guys who's like an all-around musician, like someone who, can write music, and it's not just like, hey, I play a guitar. It's like, no, he incorporates all these other elements of music into his albums, and on top of that, he can help produce it. He's got, once again, kind of a unique vocals that I really enjoy. Not to say that he'd have to sing on every song, same with Dan. These guys, like a lot of these people can sing and they can interchange with each other on different instruments and different roles for each song, each album, whatever. So Beck, I would like to bring his like eccentric flair to the band as well.
Okay.
And on this next one would be, of course, I've got to have this guy in there as well, Jack White. Once again, just kind of a really creative musician. He's got a really eccentric style that I really enjoy. Plus, his guitar playing style I also really like. The crunchy. It's not too far, I would say, from Dan Arbach. Even though I feel Arbach has more of a bluesy sound, and Jack has more of a crunchy rock sound. I would love to see kind of a dueling guitars kind of
would be sick
thing, which would be really cool. So Jack White once again brings a lot of musical background, a lot of musical prowess. Once again, like adding to this collective to see what would happen. Continuing on, I also have Damon Albarn. And if you don't know who Damon Albarn is, he is the guy behind the Gorillaz.
Oh, okay.
And also he was the front man for Blur.
That's right.
So I don't think I really need to see much there. The dude's made a whole career out of a gimmick band that he came up with.
Seriously.
And has put out some really incredible music, and it's most, he's the brainchild behind all the albums when it comes to music.
Sure.
So just seeing what he's done, it would be really cool to see what else he could bring to this, music collective of putting together something really, really special in my opinion. So I just got 2 more. Dave Grohl would be the next one.
Dang.
Once again, just a powerhouse, sings, plays guitar. Like the dude wrote his own song that he played all the instruments for on that, that, what was that called? 27 or something? I can't remember. It was like a super long song, but the dude can do everything. And he's like a rock icon, I would consider. Like, I'd say like the most rock and roll person almost in existence.
Absolutely.
Like, currently working.
Yeah.
And it would definitely bring a creative flair and energy to the band. that I would definitely love to see. And then the last one I added in to kind of mix things up a little bit and to add a little bit of like what's the word I'm looking for? Like I guess mix things up, like make it a little different, add another element. There we go, another element to the collective. And it would be Q-Tip, who's a member of a tribe called Quest.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Kind of bring in a hip-hop element. Q-Tip's worked with Jack White before. You know, they had on one of his most recent albums, they had a song called Heidi Ho. Okay. And I think incorporating, and I love Q-Tip. Q-Tip's one of my favorite lyricists and vocalists in hip-hop. Yeah. I feel like his voice when he's singing, he has a cadence and a flow that it's like another part of the beat to me. Like you got your hi-hat, your bass, whatever, your drums going, but him singing in it as well is just as equally a part of the music as any other instrument that's being played. So, on top of that, he's got, his solo career plus a tribe called Quest, got tons of experience in the music industry. It'd be cool to see him appear in this collective as well and see what he can contribute to, like I said, mix things up, because up to that point we've got 6 white guys, 5 white guys, 5 white guys in Q-Tip.
Nice.
So I would love to see. That's all 6 of them. So I have 6 of them in this collective, and what I would name them is Apollo, which is why I stuck with. That's why Hera was on my mind, because Apollo is the god of creativity. He's a god of a lot of things, but he's also associated with music and creativity, the creative arts, which I thought would be kind of cool for these guys. I know it's super pretentious, but
Apollo's a great name for a band. It's so short and easy to remember.
But if this could come together and happen, even for one album, I don't think it would happen because there's way too many.
Oh, whatever! It's a super group.
Chefs in the kitchen.
It's in our brain. Who cares?
But it'd be so cool. This would be such a cool thing to see. So, like I said, I don't have I'm not gonna share a whole lot about their background because I feel like mine are super mainstream, especially compared to yours. So I think people are pretty familiar with who these people are. But that would be mine. Is Apollo. So yeah, there's mine. Do you want to hear some of these other ones I came up with?
Yeah, you came up with variations. I want to hear all of them.
So if we just had a group with just Jack and Jack White and Dan Arbach, and it was let's say it's one of your metalcore bands where there's a lot of yelling, I would call it Jack Daniels, because it'd be Jack and Dan who yells Jack Daniels.
That is so funny. Okay, great. Let's do it.
All right, and then I made a fantasy of deceased musicians. They're called the Pearly Gates. That's the name of their band. You like that already?
Sick, yeah.
And this one I did the traditional route. So we got Freddie on lead vocals, because you can't not have Freddie.
Absolutely.
Jimmy on the guitar. This is total classic rock. We've got Bonham on the drums. Okay. Because why the hell not? And
why not?
We got Lemmy on the bass. Also can do vocals
Lemmy's
as
a great
well.
answer. Yeah.
So he'd add that definite, he'd give it that punch in the face, aesthetic and sound. So
yeah.
But yeah, Pearly Gates. That's another one we should put in.
That is so fun. I love that. Do you have a favorite supergroup that is real? That's not fantasy.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I think Led Zeppelin's considered a supergroup, even though
it's true. They all came from different bands.
So if we were being super technical, yeah. But if we're talking about people who are, I would say, kind of famous for something else before they came together. It would actually, this kind of giving it away for what the trivia is going to be today.
Oh, you don't have to if you don't want to.
No, I'll share it because it's going to happen anyways. It's going to be Audio Slave. Audio Slave is probably my favorite super group.
Audio Slave rules.
Because you got the sound, you got a really heavy sound of Rage Against the Machine, even though it was a little different. On top of Chris Cornell's vocals, who undoubtedly, you can say I like Dan Arbach's vocals, but with Chris Cornell, you can say he was a great vocalist.
Absolutely.
He had an incredible rock voice.
And his range was insane.
Yeah. So, anywho, how about you? Do you have a favorite one?
I have when I just think knee-jerk reaction is Boy Genius. They're so fun, and they just came out with their full length. 2 weeks ago? That's huge.
Who's in that? Who's in that again?
That is Phoebe Bridgers, Julian Baker, and Lucy Dacus.
Okay, I know Phoebe Bridgers. Who are the other two?
They're all 3 female solo indie artists that are really good friends. And then one day said we should put out a record together. And the thing that's magic about it is that they don't try to have one person be the main person or you're the singer or whatever. They perfectly part it in 3 ways of who's singing on what songs.
It's like a collective.
Exactly. And so they're so huge right now. And all 3 of them are huge, like musically. But when they get on stage, it's them with 3 guitars. And then they sometimes have a backup band. Sometimes it's them with 3 acoustic guitars. And they can just play whatever they want. And it's so fun to see. So that's like probably my knee-jerk reaction for biggest supergroup I like right now. Because supergroups are fun. The thing is, sometimes it is just like a gimmick. Sometimes it is just, hey, look how fun this is. We all used to be in these other bands. Or you even do have like the Traveling Wilburys back in the 80s where you've got Tom Petty and Roy Orbison and Bob Dylan and George Harrison. They're just like, we just are friends and we want to play music together and we don't care if we get money for it. That's awesome. That's super fun. So,
yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you can even argue maybe the Beatles were like a super group too, but
I would never say the Beatles were a super group.
All right.
Because anyway. Never mind. Never mind. They were
some
totally
Beatles hate was coming.
I was. But
you want to hear my hip hop super group? Oh,
yes.
Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No, go for it. I was just gonna make a joke about the Beatles. Keep going.
No more jokes about the Beatles.
Yeah.
Q-Tip once again. It's gonna be my super group.
Okay.
Then we got Busta Rhymes.
Ooh.
Logic.
Okay.
Mike D from the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Esoteric from Czarface.
This is insane.
Andre 3000 from Outkast.
Okay.
Eminem and Chance the Rapper and Lil Wayne. There we go.
This is literally like
Wu-Tang.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, this is like everyone you love all at one dinner table. This sounds awesome.
Yeah, that would be my hip hop super group.
Okay.
I'd have to think of a cooler name than it's kind of hard to beat Wu-Tang, but
Wu-Tang's such a good name.
Mm-hmm. And then I was trying to come up with like a new metal super group. Yeah, and I think you could think of one off the fly too. Because here's what I put together so far. Because you got to have lead singer, guitarist, bass drums, and a DJ. That's
DJ. The problem. That's the problem.
But you just pick DJ Lethal. He's the most popular one. He was like from like Cypress Hill or House of Pain or one of those. I can't remember off the top of my head.
No.
So DJ Lethal from Limp Bizkit. That way you can incorporate Limp Bizkit.
There you
favorite.
Go. Yeah.
I would definitely pick. I think I'd pick Corey from Slipknot. Yeah, because I feel like he's got a really good
He's
voice.
Also like arguably the best of all the new metal singers.
Yeah. So then I got Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit as well.
Of course. That was my major reaction was Wes Borland has to be in it.
And then I would pick Fieldy from Korn.
Oh, from Korn.
To be a bass player. Because I feel like he's got the most unique bass sound out of a lot of these bands. Like he has his own style, is super deep and gurgly. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah.
And then drums. Who would you pick for drums? I didn't get
Jordison from Slipknot.
Jordison from Slipknot again, isn't he?
He's not in Slipknot anymore, and he passed away a couple years ago.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
But let's say you have to pick a live one.
Oh, a live one.
Still going.
That's
John Otto from Limp Bizkit again.
No, what was the drummer's name from System of a Down? They had a great drummer.
Yeah, that's actually where I was gonna look up. But yeah,
I don't know his name, but he's very talented. He'd be great.
I would go with you on that.
Honestly, you could. I hope I don't shock anybody by this, but any member of System of a Down could play in a supergroup. They were very talented.
His first name is Andy, and his last name is something I'd butcher.
Well, they're Armenian. So
Hachaturian?
Yeah.
Hachaturian?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know that he's also the one that causes the most commotion with the members of that band.
Oh, would we want him in our supergroup then?
I don't know.
Break it apart.
He's very talented.
Who's the drummer for Linkin Park? That might be a good one to add to.
I have another drummer. I actually don't know Linkin Park very well. I'm not a Linkin Park kid.
No, I was kidding. I know.
That's no shock. Everybody knows me. It's never been my thing. But anyway, yeah, supergroups are fun to talk about. I love it.
Yeah. Another one that I should say I really like them, but is really cool that it happened, and I really want to get something on vinyl for them, but it's so hard to find, is them Crooked Vultures.
Oh, so that vinyl's impossible. Yeah.
It's over $100.
Yep.
I've heard whispers that it might be getting a repress.
Ooh.
But for those who aren't familiar, it's Dave Grohl, Josh Homme. I hope is that how you say his last name?
I think so. Yeah.
He's from Queens of the Stone Age. He's the frontman for Queens of the Stone Age, who's a little problematic at times, but and then John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Like
they were great.
That's like how did that happen? Seriously. That's what I want to know. Like how do these
legends
they're absolute come together, legends, and just anyways, like I can see Dave and Josh, but then John Paul Jones.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Seriously. I feel like everybody in music loves Dave Grohl. And so I'm sure he was just like, hey, let's play together sometime.
Yeah.
And record it and make it a legendary album.
Yep. One that costs over $100 to buy.
The vinyl people will love it.
Yeah. But yeah, those anything else you needed to say about
I've got all my stuff.
Supergroups?
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Should we go into trivia then?
Let's trivia it up.
So, as you all know already, and if you read the tags in the episodes, you know usually what the trivia is going to be about. But we're doing today's trivia on Audioslave.
Yes.
One of my favorite supergroups, of course, because I'm such a big Rage Against the Machine fan. I do like Soundgarden as well, just not nearly as much as I did like Rage. But once again, Chris Cornell, phenomenal singing voice.
Absolutely.
R.I.P. Chris. It was sucky that we lost him too soon.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Okay.
Are you ready? A
ready.
lot of these are softballs. So
thank heavens.
I think you need to get at least, so there's 12 possible. You need to get 7 of these.
Okay.
To be I don't know, coachees. and then I don't know, if you don't get that, you're just a what's another funny
I'm like a stone.
You're like there you go. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. All right, here we go. Question number 1.
Okay. Before
joining Audioslave, Chris Cornell was a member of what group? What band?
Soundgarden.
There you go. 1 point.
See, got my one.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, okay.
Tom Morello, Tim Comerford, and Brad, I think it's Wilkins. I can't remember. I could be wrong on that one. We're all members of this band before joining Audioslave.
Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine. Nice to pull back with the reference.
Thank you.
All right, here you go. This one to get a little more difficult.
Okay.
You got 2 points. You're on the board.
I'm not 2, though. I'm not going to feel horrible anymore. Yeah.
What year did they form?
Oh, yikes.
99? Ooh, you are off, my friend, by 2 years. 2001.
2001?
Yep. How many albums did they put out together? Think of Jesus.
3?
Yeah, see, it worked.
Yeah. I was
Give me that look.
It was, well, at first it was like
12?
Yeah, like 2000.
They put out 12 albums. Anyways,
they put out 12 apostles.
So there you go. So you're up to 3.
I have 3. I'm keeping track. Yeah.
All right. Each of these gets you a point, okay? I need you to name those 3 albums.
The self-titled.
Very good. You got another point there. You're up to 4.
I
am the same as you. I would not have gotten these.
Yeah, I don't know the other 2. I only know the self-titled.
So Audioslave self-titled came out in 2002.
Yeah.
Out of Exile, their sophomore album, came out in 2005.
Okay.
And then Revelations came out in 2006.
Well,
their third and final. I named those dates to give you some help, just so you know.
Okay.
So, all right, here you go. I don't know if you'll get this one.
Okay.
This famous producer is credited for bringing Audioslave together.
Rick Rubin.
Yes, good job.
See, I feel like anytime you ask about producers, the answer is Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin, yeah.
I've been conditioned to make that the answer.
And it's so funny that someone who has very little like music creating experience and knowledge has been so influential in the music industry in the last like 30, 40 years. So it's crazy. It's kind of crazy. He even himself has said, I don't know music well. I just know what I like and what I don't like. And like usually what I like is popular.
That's funny. So I would love to be able to say that. That's so cool.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Question number 7. Where are you at? How many you got now? You got like 5?
5. Yeah.
Ooh, there you go. Very good. Okay. Audioslave made their live debut, like their first live performance, on this man's late night talk show.
Ooh.
Do you want me to give you a hint?
That'd be great.
It was in New York.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel, bro. This is like 2000 and they're making their debut. This is like 2002.
Johnny Carson. Who was it?
It was David Letterman.
Oh,
but
gross.
I like Johnny Carson better than Jimmy Kimmel.
There you go.
That's a better guess.
He's like a corpse at that point.
Sure, bringing out this new group.
They've got him up by strings. Yeah.
Weekend at Bernie's. All right, you missed that one. Here we go. I don't think I can get this one either.
Awesome.
In 2005, Audioslave became the first band to play an open-air concert in this country.
Bulgaria.
No, but I love the guess.
Dang it.
It's Cuba.
Oh, Cuba.
Yeah, they played it at this auditorium that was specifically built in 2000 to protest.
That's sick.
To hold protests against the U.S. government.
Well, there you go. Love it.
All right. So you need to get two more.
Yes.
And there's two more left.
Oof.
So here we go. Remember, think Jesus.
Okay.
How many Grammy nominations did they get?
3.
Yes, very good.
See?
Didn't win any Grammys, but they got nominated 3 times.
Lame.
Yeah, they got 2 artists rock bands of the year noms.
Yeah.
And then 1, I think they got a nomination for a Stone or something like that. So, anyways.
Sick.
All right, so here you go. This is the last one. No more hints because
I
give you enough
pressure.
hints.
Yes, you give me plenty of hints.
What year did they split?
2008. Oh.
You want another try?
Sure. 2007.
Yes. 2007 is the year that they split.
Sad.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Audioslave.
6 years, short-lived, but one hell of. I mean, I think they're all fun albums, but one hell of a good album in their debut.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, wrong side. There it is.
There it is. Look at that.
It's hiding. I bought that from you, by the way.
Yes, you did. Audioslave rules. That was a great trivia round.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I love Audioslave as well.
You're welcome.
If you haven't, go listen to Cochise. That's such a hype song.
Yeah. Audioslave was just fun because it was not Soundgarden, but it was Soundgarden, and it wasn't Rage Against the Machine, but it was Rage Against the Machine. It was this beautiful marriage of the two. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
A lot of times in supergroups, especially now that we've just been hitting this dead horse, a lot of times they bring in what their music they create sounds like, and they put it together with something else, and it doesn't sound very good. But those two meshed. Those two meshed like peanut butter and jelly. Oh.
Like peanut butter and jelly.
Like a cheese quesadilla and peanut butter.
Ooh. That sounds delicious.
It is delicious. I do it all the time, and people mock me.
You know what? Now that we're done with trivia, I do have a couple responses here. I put out a feeler for
fantastic
supergroups. I asked the fans. What supergroup would you like to see, and what would you call it? So we got 2 responses here.
Okay, let's hear it.
Because I understand this takes some commitment. So anyway, so the first one we got here is Mr. Juan Hunnett or Chris.
Chris, he's the best.
So he said, I don't know if he's serious about this, but either way,
I'm excited.
A mash of Nickelback and Creed. They'd be called terrorist threats.
You know what's funny? If that's a joke or not, that would be rad. That'd be sick.
Anyways,
good work, Chris. I love that.
Yes. Crickleback is what they should be called.
Crickleback.
Or Nickel Reed. I don't know. That sounds. I don't like the word nickel.
I like Crickleback. That's fun.
Crickleback. All right, there we go. What just fell?
Like a Funko Pop or something.
Oh, do you have like a poltergeist?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've pissed off too many ghosts.
All right, and then next one's from Rymo Vinyl.
Love Ryan. Yep.
He said Scott Stapp, Geddy Lee, Dan Reynolds, and Chad Smith.
Oh my gosh.
Called The Gentlemen is their band name.
The Gentlemen.
The Gentlemen.
Yes, I imagine those being like the Rat Pack, where they're just in suits on stools and just singing. Oh, love it.
All right. Now, we actually got some questions in, too.
We did? Okay.
Yes, we got a few in. Let me see if this one's actually a question. Nope, it's just a funny picture from Ryan.
Of course it's from Ryan.
We've got 2 in from our buddy Steve Crippens.
Okay.
Sorry, we got 1 from Steve. We got 2 in from Jerry, our buddy Jerry.
Oh, great. No.
Disc_J.Aki disc jockey. Anyways, all right, so here we go.
Okay.
Because this is something we should have brought up earlier in the episode too. Is that Record Store Day is coming up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks to Record Store Day.
Will we be recording before it?
No, we'll do it the day after.
Well, everyone, hey, guess what? Record Store Day soon. Yeah.
Super looking forward to it.
It's gonna be great. Yeah.
So, Jerry wants to know what your most anticipated Record Store Day releases are.
My number one is by a band called Horse the Band, and they were this like electronic metal band from when I was in high school, and not many people knew about them. So I think this is like their first vinyl release ever, and they haven't made music in like 15 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. But their first album's getting pressed on vinyl, and I lost my freaking mind. I was so excited. That's awesome. Horse the Band. I'm very excited.
My most anticipated album is Be a Man by Macho Man Randy Savage. Pressed on purple vinyl, fittingly. That album came out in the 90s, and of course, I think it was pressed on vinyl like maybe once when it came out or something. So trying to find a copy on the aftermarket, it's really hard. They did recently do like a bootleg pressing, but I never got my hands on one of those. So I'm super excited that this is coming out. Official. I'm definitely gonna have to get my hands on it, and it's just if you can imagine Macho Man Randy Savage rap into late 90s hip hop beats.
Heck yeah, dude.
It's what it is, and it's
hell yeah, brother.
It's good stuff.
It's gonna be great.
Oh, Hulk Hogan, be a man. Anyways, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, it's not like Taylor Swift single. Yeah, exactly. Although I am looking to get Maya Hawke's single. She has a single.
Oh, Maya Hawke, that's right. Yeah.
So that, and then the other thing on my list is the first ever Black Keys live performance.
That's right.
Released on orange colored vinyl.
There's a couple I was stoked on. Horse the Band's the one that's front of mind, but I know a lot of people didn't love the list. I thought it was pretty cool this year. So
yeah, I'm excited. If all I got was that Macho Man one, I'm excited for that.
Great, yeah.
So, anyways, all right. So most anticipated Record Store Day releases. There you go. Another one from Jerry is, it's finally warming up. What shows are you looking forward to this spring and summer? So which concerts are we going to? Jerry's bringing the heat with these questions.
Seriously. You can go first because I'm trying
to. You want me to go first?
Because I have a lot, so I'm trying to narrow down.
Okay, I'll go first.
I'm most excited for. Yeah.
So I've only got like 7 shows lined up right now, and I'm going to Kilby Court, which is like a kind of a Utah music. I don't know. Is it a festival? It's like a 3-day thing.
You're going to the Kilby Block Party.
Kilby Court Block Party. Yeah. Sorry, Kilby Block Party. My bad. I only got it's a 3-day thing. I got tickets to just one of the days, Saturday, because that's the day that the Strokes and Run the Jewels will be playing, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah. So that's coming up in May, and then also in May, you and I are going to go see Brick and Mortar. Yep. Which is like some kind of obscure band. I saw them because they toured with the Front Bottoms once.
There you go.
And so I saw them perform. Like, I like these guys, and I really ended up enjoying them. I'd buy their stuff on vinyl if they had it. Just anyways.
Okay.
Logic in June. Going to see Logic. He's coming to town.
Wow, that's right. Yeah.
And then we've got Beck in August. We've got the Flaming Lips in August. I'm going to see the Postal Service in October.
The Def Jam Postal
Vegas.
Service thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. And I think, was there another one I'm forgetting? I can't remember. But I think there's one more, but I can't remember. So, Smashing Pumpkins.
That's in August, right?
In August, yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. Those are all the shows I got lined up. I'm super excited.
That's a great lineup. Mm-hmm. I have a lot, but the main ones I'm most excited for, Mr. Bungle plays in May. Mm-hmm. That'll be the first time they played Utah since 2000, and I'm very excited.
It's been a minute.
That's going to be weird. The show's going to be very weird. And
they come out on crutches or walkers?
Could be. You never know with that band. It'll be wild. I'm very excited. They're playing the new metal when we were young. What's it called? That giant new metal festival in Vegas.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Something Splendor.
Strange.
System of strange something. Yeah. All like every great new metal band is playing it. Anyways, Mr. Bungle's playing it, and so on their way either to that festival or from their festival, they're playing Salt Lake. They're only playing like 6 shows in between that festival, and Salt Lake's one of them. And I am very blessed.
Sick New World.
Sick New World. Thank you.
There's an S in there.
See, yeah.
Sappy, Slappy, Swanson?
Swanson?
Samsonite.
Yeah. I was way off. And then another couple shows I'm stoked on. Fall Out Boy and Bring Me the Horizon are coming to town. I am very excited for that. Bring Me the Horizon, again, has not played Salt Lake since 2011. So these bands that I've wanted to see forever are playing here this year, and I'm very excited. And I'll try to give one more. I'm stoked for on Tuesday. There's a band called Knoll that I'm a big fan of. Their music is very intense and very chaotic. If serial killers had to listen to something before they did something, they listen to Knoll. It's great. And then they're playing with a noise artist called God is War. So it's just a guy up on a synthesizer.
A noise artist.
Yeah. So it's just like static and and ambient noises. Our buddy Ben loves him. So he and I are going together. I'm going for Knoll. He's going for God is War. So, and it's
you guys
funny.
Have fun.
There, exactly. It's a very Ben and Chris concert.
Where's it at?
At Urban Lounge.
Ooh.
So you get the Sprite.
That's
Sprite. The best part of it.
They have the best Sprite.
The best Sprite on the planet.
Best Sprite ever. Cures cancer, this Sprite.
But yeah, there's a lot of great shows. I feel like if you are a fan of going to live music, not everybody is, but if you're into it, in the post-COVID world we're in right now, because it's going to officially, the health crisis is over in May, start going to shows. Like, it's people, since they had to go a little while without it, so many bands are like trying to make their performances the best they can. Great touring packages, going to places they've never been before. So if you're into live music, go get into it more. That's the lesson of the day.
Nice lesson.
Thank you.
The last question we had was actually from Steve, and I should have noticed this before. He's also wanting to know what our must-haves for Record Store Day are. So we answered your question too, Steve.
Horse the Band.
Thanks for sending it in.
And Randy Savage.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh, yeah.
I can't believe we didn't even talk about Record Store Day.
I can.
It's what, like...
It's still 2 weeks away. We should do a live broadcast from the line in Record Store
at 4 in the morning.
Oh, man. So many people... Talks. Yeah, we'll make tickety talks.
We'll make tickety talks.
Tickety talk, tick tock, ticker.
Stooge, anything else for today's episode? Oh, wait. A really quick question. Some people can't go to Record Store Day. It's not possible. Not everybody physically can, but they can go to online record stores, right?
Yes, they can. One of them being Rustic Records, as you can see on my shirt here.
Oh my gosh!
So conveniently plastered on my shirt there, on my chest. Record Store, Rustic Records, unfortunately is unable to participate in Record Store Day because they don't have a physical location.
Yes.
However, if you still need to get a fix on Record Store Day, you can very much still go to rusticrecordsonline.com. Maybe you can't make it to Record Store Day and you still want to feel like you're participating.
Just go buy a record.
Just go to rusticrecordsonline.com. Use the discount code Stooge. You'll save 5%. People 5%? At Record Store Day aren't saving 5%.
We're not saving anything.
They're getting gouged.
Person. Yeah,
they're paying twice.
Seriously,
it's like here's your plastic disc. Now give me $1 million, and we're like,
and we go great.
You have any more of them records? We can't help
like
ourselves.
Junkies. Yeah.
Sniffing vinyl bits off of our hand in the bathrooms.
Yeah. Microplastics.
Anyways, yeah. That's how we do it.
That's how we do it.
Anyways, so yeah, Rustic Records, online.com. Brian just had a really good drop this last Friday. Lots of cool stuff, like especially if you're like a Mac Miller fan. I know there's like a Mac Miller cult following out there.
Man, and the vinyl Mac Miller people, they're dedicated, totally.
Yeah. So he had like 5 or 6 of his albums.
Wow, that's huge.
So yeah, go check that out if you're a Mac Miller guy. But he's also got all sorts of other stuff.
All the
got a bunch of the Britneys in. He's always getting the T Swift stuff in too. So go check him out. He's got all the goods. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Love it. Anything else that's not related to Rustic Records you want to say before we wrap up?
Nothing else that's not related to Rustic Records. No, I got to do my plug, and I'm good. Some people trying to do another Wayne's World reference, but it's not going to fly in. So I'll turn it back to you.
That's the after show. If you are not subscribed to us on social media, what are you doing? You need to subscribe to us on social media.
You do an extreme close-up right there.
You need to subscribe to us on social media. We are at Deadwax Show on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. We are best to follow on Instagram. That is where we do a lot of our postings and updates. All of the music we talked about today, all of the artists, they're going to be in a playlist too that we're going to share to you all. So if you don't know some of the people Stooge talked about, some people Waffles talked about, or Audio Slave, listen to the playlist. Get some jams going, because you never know what delicious jams and jellies you'll be able to discover through the Deadwax playlist. So give it a listen. You can find links to that on our Instagram stories when we post the new episode. So get ready for that. I also love Stooge's idea of like posting the pictures of these supergroups and which one you'd rather listen to. So be looking on our stories for the day we post this episode because we want to hear your opinions. Want to hear the poll. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Should we include like the Pearly Gates as well?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, yes.
Pearly Gates, Apollo, and what was yours game again? Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah, so look for our stories there and get involved because we love engagement. We love people, in participating along. It's great. Anything else? I don't want to interrupt.
Do you care if I share my tattoo real quick?
Go for it.
Tattoo.
Show us. Yeah.
Here, let me roll it up real quick.
The reveal.
It's still healing.
Dude, it looks
it's still in a thing, and so it's really a lot darker. But it
looks so good.
A lady head, and that is supposed to be mi madre, who passed when I was only 6 years old.
That's awesome.
So that's what these little bad boys are for. These are the Mexican marigolds because my mother was half Hispanic. She's half Mexican. So the Mexican marigolds to kind of show that she's passed. Her name was Regina, which is the late Latin word for queen, which is why she has the crown there. And yeah, it's just a really cool.
That looks great, dude.
Thing. The guy nailed it. So
yeah, it looks awesome.
New tattoo. I'll show it off again once I get the bandage off, and it won't be as dark and everything. But anyways, yeah,
love it. I love
a new one.
We'll do it. We'll do the second reveal the next episode.
Yeah, the clean reveal.
The clean reveal. We love a good clean reveal. If there's nothing else, then I just want to advise every single one of you to please be safe, enjoy each other, be kind to each other, be a good person, and get out of the groove and get into the Deadwax. Goodbye, everybody.